Hello everybody, and today we have another scrim. This time I've randomed up with a team made up of DWI members. Some of these players have played together and some of them are like me and just kind of are around the forums a bit and talk with each other. So we've never really played together before, but it doesn't mean we're not bad. So let's see how it goes. And on the other team, we have a pre-made of a team called Midieval Lords, with Team Midieval Lords being on the red team and DWI, or Deal With It, being on the blue team. Now Team Midieval Lords has 2 Guardians, 2 Mesmers, and a Thief. And Team Deal With It has a Mesmer, Elementalist, Warrior, Guardian, and Thief. Double of Guardian is very cautious and can be very disruptive because they're very hard to take down because they almost need condition damage to be able to get them off a point. And they can also spec into a bit of offensiveness, which will keep you running away and healing back up before you try again. Their sustain is incredible and keeps them on that point forever, so it's a good idea. Their 2 Mesmers is also a good idea for Kylo because their portals can keep the team very mobile, especially when they don't have very mobile teammates like the Double Guardians. They can shift their forces around very quickly using the portals. And as you know, it is a must to win Kylo with a Mesmer on your trebuchet. So they can have one that's good at point defend on the trebuchet and then one that's a good support or offensive burst, helping with team fights or roaming. While Team Deal With It has a more standard composition, but it switches the roles up a bit. The Warrior is tanky and offensive at the same time, while the Guardian is tanky and condition damage. The Elementalist is considered a mobile point defender and will be covering the trebuchet. He is very mobile, but he does not have that portal to get that trebuchet back up, so it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep that trebuchet up long enough to help his teammates out. And then we have a point defending Mesmer moving to the side nodes to defend against any Guardians trying to cap. This is a good idea because of his strong condition damage, he can wear down Guardians while dodging all of their attacks, and they end up having the same amount of sustain, so it's just a matter of if he can get off enough damage and if he can dodge all of the attacks. And the Thief will cover the enemy trebuchet and make sure it's constantly taken down. His high mobility will keep him at the trebuchet and able to run anywhere he's needed on the map with ease. Alright, so that's our team so far. So let's get into the match. Alright, and they're off. Holy cow. The blue team started off with a gigantic fire combo field that they kept using finisher moves on to get 25 stacks of might for everybody exiting through that gate. Enough swiftness to get everyone where they needed to be before the other team could reach it. So they're going to have a huge opening move. Now the Mesmer sees one person coming over the stairs, but it's actually 2 people, so he's going to be in trouble. Mesmers are great point defenders, but they have a lot of trouble with more than one person, especially if another person's a Mesmer. It really counteracts his abilities if he's outnumbered and fighting his same profession as one of them. But they just quickly nuke him down, and he's not able to defend a point very well. But the blue team did capture Windmill uncontested, and the fight is centered towards the clock tower.
Actually, I got another one going on Windmill.
But no one on the blue team is actually in the trebuchet. They're focusing on capturing the points and dodging the enemy trebuchet until it's taken down by the Thief.
I'm getting on the Mesmer here.
The Mesmer moves back to Mansion and tries to fight the Warrior by himself. Let's see how this goes.
With quickness, in fact. No,
He's able to dodge or use his clones to get away from a lot of the damage that the Guardian is dishing out. And that confusion is stacking up on that Guardian and wearing him down. But the Guardian's sustain might still be too much for him. No, that null field takes away a lot of his boons, and the Guardian has to focus on rebuffing himself to be able to get enough damage onto the Mesmer. And that Chaos Armor is really going to wreck that Guardian as soon as he starts popping attacks on the Mesmer. And yeah, it just nukes him back down. And the Mesmer wins the fight for Mansion.
Once the trap's up, our people rotate. Let's go to
But the red team did win the fight for Clock Tower, so the Mesmer is going to need to move towards the mid and see if he can help out his team with his staff abilities.
Alright, can you go over there, Thief? I'm gonna help mid.
What do you need, Mesmer?
They have 2 on mid, so... I'm almost to windmill.
So as soon as he captures Mansion, he puts down a portal and heads towards mid to see if he can help out his team. But he sees the Guardian coming straight back for Mansion, and he knows he can take him, so he just heads back to the point so that he can get those defending points when he kills the Guardian.
Quickness stomp. I'm immobilizing that guy.
But wow, Guardian lays with a great opener.
I'm doing 2 immobilizes.
And the Mesmer doesn't heal soon enough. He really should have healed sooner, because the sooner you heal, the sooner that cooldown is going to be back up.
Mobilize. That's it.
You can't hesitate if you're at least below 75% health to heal. And you see right there, he doesn't have those cooldowns back up, and he's taken down by the Guardian to his surprise.
Do you need help?
How did he win?
Do you need help, Mansion?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the enemy team's Mesmer had come to back up, but it really wasn't necessary.
I'm here.
Until now, holy cow. The blue team's warrior comes in and demolishes that Guardian right off the bat before the Mesmer can even react. So now the warrior is just fighting against the Guardian.
I was wondering how we won, and there's apparently someone right behind.
And the Mesmer comes to help out. But he's attacking a quite obvious clone. I mean, the real Mesmer is strafing and dodging about. It's really obvious who he was. I don't know why he even bothered attacking it.
Alright.
But either way, the warrior won his fight.
Mesmer's going down right now.
And so the Mesmer's taken down. And the blue team can focus on capturing the Mansion and then heading back to mid to defend.
They've got one more.
But the Guardian just
Okay, that's
comes back again, ready to try this fight.
We got mid.
Guardian's right back on Mansion.
I'm coming
Alright,
to Mansion.
I've got it.
I'm on my way to Mansion right now.
But the warrior comes back and tries to help. And they start working down the Guardian.
Good at Mansion. I'm coming out.
I interrupted.
Even though he's got that great sustain, they still take him down quite easily.
I'm frenzying him down.
I'm gonna lose one again.
Now they've got a good amount of time to capture that point, put down that portal, and go work on defending mid.
I'm gonna stop the trip.
Okay.
Alright, what do you guys need?
Alright, they're trapping.
And the windmill is now recaptured by the red team, and they're still in this game. I mean, this game is still very close for either team, especially because the blue team is not using their trebuchet right now.
Let's just go.
The Mesmer is really worried about that Guardian going straight for the Mansion again, and wants to fight him near this point where he has teammates.
Got more than him.
And since there's no one contesting Clock Tower, wait, no, someone is now contesting Clock Tower.
Target when he's going
So the Mesmer goes in to help with his good staff abilities,
nice.
but it doesn't even look like he's needed. His team is just ripping through that Guardian.
Alright, sure I can get
But just as they thought it would, the Guardians strike back at Mansion, but with reinforcements. The Mesmer is in that 2v1 situation he does not like being. Oh, but the warrior shows up, and he's quickly burning down the Guardian, because he can't quite get a target on the Mesmer. But he isn't able to interrupt the Guardian's sustain and his Moed. So he's running around with his head cut off, while the Mesmer is being focused down. Oh, that fight just did not go in their favor. The red team's Mesmer Moed the blue team's warrior. So the Mesmer tried to Moa the Guardian,
I'm stoned.
but the Guardian was blocking at the time, so the Moa did not work. And the two just got bursted down right after.
Yeah, and he blocked my.
But it looks like the rest of the blue team has recaptured the windmill, so they still have complete map control. And the points are slipping away from the red team.
He's down here. I got this Guardian with me.
Now the Mesmer is making a forward push towards the spawn and is trying to fight off the point so that the team can focus on racking up more points from that node.
I want to go to their truck.
But the warrior leads the chase and runs towards mid.
Your trip did. We
Oh,
But the Mesmer actually did not chase after it. It just looked like he did. So there's still two at Mansion, and the Mesmer is in that fight he does not like being.
I'm gonna.
They're zerging, so we need to wait.
He's doing a good job of getting out of all that damage,
Sorry, man. I gotta get on.
but the Mesmer is able to AoE all the blue team's Mesmers clones down, making him an easy target for the Guardian. And he's eventually stomped to the ground.
I'm 100 blazing on point. I'm getting all three of them.
But still, on the ground, Mesmer is very strong and is able to distract the Guardian for at least another 10 seconds.
Alright, pick. Oh, the Guardians. Just about to. Hold up.
Now there's a huge contention for Clock Tower right now, and the red team's Mesmer is going to help out,
Ability. I'm gonna
so it is going to be a devastating fight for
I'm
mid.
gonna take our tribe.
You rallied, right?
Yeah, somebody needs to run our trip. We'll be good.
Okay, I'll take it.
Oh, but the
They're just
blue
zerging.
team's Mesmer is not going back to Mansion
winning
for
the
once.
fight, actually.
Is he going to go to mid, or is he going to the Trebuchet?
And keep control of it. Okay, I got Guardian.
Ah, looks like they're going to finally man the Trebuchet. He puts down his portal under, so if anyone comes for his Trebuchet, he can kite them around by using a portal to go back and forth up and down the hill.
Alright, Mesmer's down.
Okay.
This is the first time the blue team is using the Trebuchet this entire match.
Doing that, windmill.
Forward.
And boom! He hits 3 people right off the bat.
I got two on me.
I'm coming.
Windmill.
Boom! The red team at Clock Tower is going down, so he moves the Trebuchet over towards the windmill to see if he can help out the fight there. It is a 2v1 for windmill right now, but okay, does this Mesmer know? Oh my god, this Mesmer doesn't know the range
Too low.
for windmill.
Can you do it, Guardian? I was
Let's
still
see if he can get it this time. Nope, still too short. Oh, this Mesmer
Knockback right now, dude.
isn't very experienced with the windmill at all, is he?
Sure no, they just really.
But finally he gets the measurements right.
Alright, I'm
It
gonna
starts
go.
dealing damage to the people fighting for windmill.
Good
Yeah, I
trip,
can't
good
see
trip, good
without
trip.
that. So,
Keep
I'm
driving
killing
right there,
the
keep driving.
Guardian right now.
Keep driving.
Ah, no, he tried to...
Stability stomping him.
He's definitely not used to it. It is kind of tricky because it's right before it ends. But I think he's got it now.
I did reload.
Yeah, there we go. He's helping now.
I blocked it. You shattered.
Do it again, do it again.
Alright, he finished everyone off at windmill and they're going to capture that. So he's going back to Clock Tower to see who's all fighting the warrior there.
You can trip me, you can trip me.
I'm about to sit down.
And the warrior is in a down state. But oh my gosh, he's hitting 3 again.
I'm in front of the trap. Our trap.
Send it back in.
He gets 3 more. Let's see if he can help out. And it looks like the warrior rallied off one of the people the trebuchet had killed.
Nice, nice talking.
So he's back in the fight for Clock Tower.
Really long timer.
Now they're still there. They're just fighting off the Clock Tower point.
I can use trip.
So they're not... Yeah, there's still 3 there. Wow.
I'm stuck in the
Oh, it looks like the warrior didn't rally. He had used his 3 ability in a down state to get back up for a little bit, but he wasn't able to get a rally.
Okay.
It looks like the 3 are still there. Wait, how are they getting hit by that trebuchet so much?
Do you want to?
They must have taken 40,000 damage already. Wait, no.
windmill.
Sorry.
Kill the Guardian.
I forgot. They have 2 mesmers.
I can that loading screen.
So even though it looks like he hit a lot of people, it might have only been 1 or 2 and might have not been the right actual person. He might have been hitting all of the clones that the mesmers had dealt in the fight for Clock Tower. Alright. So there's no contention for Clock Tower anymore. So he's going back to Windmill to lay some heavy fire. Now he's got it under control. Yeah, he's hitting those people really well.
Yep, you did. I'm stomping him.
Alright, I'm circling to Windmill right now.
Boom. Oh my gosh. He got the title for making it rain. That is awesome. Right as the ringing bell rings,
So you still get
and the blue team just pulls away with a 180 point lead.
Don't get the point.
It was really nice.
Like the win bonus, which is.
Yeah, that game was pretty solid for the blue team.
Hilarious.
Team Deal With It had an excellent strategy and really never gave up on it.
Guys.
That was their 3 target strategy.
Oh, on the trebuchet. That's good.
They did not go for complete map control ever in this game. They really only focused on 2 targets at once,
Call win.
and then the enemy trebuchet. The fact that they did not have someone manning their own trebuchet until later in the battle really shows they were focused on getting that enemy trebuchet down as fast as possible, and then having that manpower already on the map to work on controlling the nodes. And they got that enemy trebuchet down really quick. They never fired their trebuchet, and the enemy never went to take it down. This was a great mind game because it led them to be able to use the trebuchet later in the game uncontested and never got fought for from the enemy team. The only problem they had was that once they took down the trebuchet, they had an extra man to go help their guardian at Mansion take down that Mesmer. That Mesmer really had trouble dealing with that 2v1 situation when they had double Mesmers, because whether it was the one that was supposed to be on the trebuchet or the one that had been there in the first fight, that heavy damage AoE from that Mesmer really made Team Deal with its Mesmer not be able to hold his own in a 2v1 situation. Those clones blew his out of the water and left him as a huge target for that Guardian. Other than that, he did alright. Versus that Guardian, as long as he used his clones and decoys right when the Guardian was going to use his heavy damage. He messed up in that second 1v1 against that Guardian and just got obliterated for it. That opening move from the Guardian took out half his health easily. And then he just did it again as a finisher. The Mesmer had to be a bit more mobile and just got careless with those tells from the Guardian, and the damage overwhelmed him. But other than that, Team Deal with it reacted really well. The Warrior always tried to come and help the Mesmer when he was either trying to recapture Mansion or he was getting outnumbered. He really saved his butt a couple of times there. But after they realized that Guardian was never going to let up on Mansion, they said, screw it. There's not enough forces taking Waterfall. They're having like one person take Waterfall uncontested from us. Let's focus on getting Waterfall back. Mesmer, you take the trebuchet and back us up. And it worked amazing. Once the Mesmer finally got those measurements down for the trebuchet, he was a great backup for his team's damage and was able to cover the nodes that needed to be protected. And this is where the red team did not react properly. As soon as they see fire from the sky, they should have reacted by going right after that trebuchet. I mean, you should never say, oh, let's just deal with it. That is a huge fireball the size of the node you're trying to capture that you're going to try to dodge every 5 seconds while team fighting. One, that's really hard to do, and two, it's not worth it. It's going to be taking up your dodge rolls, and it's going to make you be looking at the sky and your enemies trying to kill you at the same time. It's doable, it's possible, but it's not worth it. And that's where they needed to react better. They did a good job from saying, okay, they're not going to let us use our trebuchet. Let's get that manpower out there and help the side nodes and focus on mid. They captured mid. They got that manpower there really fast. Those Mesmers were great support in the fight for Mansion and for mid, while having one go to the side and constantly capture that all the time. But after the blue team started using trebuchet, they needed to respond better. And other than that, it was a close game. Like, from the beginning, blue team was consistently a bit ahead, and it just kind of escalated from there. But it was still close until that Mesmer got on the trebuchet and was able to stop the red team from even contesting either of those nodes. But it was a good game, and it was really fun to watch. I hope you guys learned a lot from this one. I tried a bit of a different approach today. When I started doing casting, I tried to do it extremely live, on the basis that I didn't know anything that was going on. And that ended up leaving a bunch of gaps in the action because I couldn't tell what was going on, and I didn't know how to tell you, the audience, what was going on when you couldn't see me. Especially like right now, I'm a point guard Mesmer on the side. I saw 2 people the entire match. Well, 3. They were just both Mesmers. But it really just, you didn't see a lot of the action until I got in the trebuchet. and could at least see the fights that were going on for mid and windmill. So I started using previous information that I had from the match to try to fill in what was going on, so that you could learn how everyone was reacting, how everyone's communicating. But honestly, in an esports match, you're not going to know how they're communicating. You'll see what happens when they communicate. Like this one had great communication. That warrior constantly came to mansion to help me out. And it's only through good communication where you see those big team adjustments. But still, you won't hear that, and I can't actually describe it to you until you actually see the results. So this time I tried a bit more live, but I can still go to the minimap and show you what's going on. So I'm hoping spectator mode will bring out a bit more information so that you're not just constantly staring at either the minimap or the team's health bars to know what's going on in the rest of the map. That's fine for when you're playing, because the team can communicate to you what's going on, but the audience needs a better chance to see what's going on from only one person's perspective. I think that's what spectator mode is going to have to bring at least. For now, I'm still working on other teams to send me their scrims with multiple points of views, and that's going to be really interesting. That way I can do it completely live, not know how it's going to end, but give you all the information that you need to know to make it really exciting and really fun to watch. So that's it for this match. If you liked the video, feel free to click the like and subscribe buttons below, and I'll see you next time.